Taking a look at the energy markets today, I want to focus on WTI crude. WTI up on the day. Now, it wasn't looking like that initially this morning. We did see WTI lower, but then we saw it bounce throughout the session and closing near the highs of the session, right around 63.50. We saw a high at 63.62, but we did see a low of 62.47, so well off the lows of the session. Looking at some of the driving factors here, I want to say that we are seeing a reversal of this downtrend. We saw WTI hit a near 3-week low down at that 62.47 level. So we've seen about a 3-day downtrend here from the highs that was attained last week, where we saw 66.60 on the top end of that range. So down quite a bit, but still now stemming some of that downward momentum that the market realized the last 3 days of last week. Looking at some of the factors, administration is being highlighted as one of the driving factors. Certainly the president last week indicating his displeasure with the current situation, wants gasoline prices lower, and therefore tweeted it out. And some market participants, market observers were pointing to that as being a driving factor and pushing crude down last week, particularly on Friday. But I'm not so sure. I think maybe it was more just looking for a reason to sell off. And also with that tweet, I think it kind of plays into the mindset. And even though the waivers are due to roll off this week, will the administration balk at that? Will they extend those waivers? That's one way that they could influence the price of WTI moving forward, at least from a short-term perspective. And I think that maybe crept into some of the minds of traders as we saw the price come under some significant selling pressure last Friday. Also, OPEC is another factor here, continuing to be a factor. When you see they basically have reacted pretty benign to that tweet and that request from the administration, basically indicating that they really don't anticipate shifting their current production cuts. Now, they can readjust that possibly in June, but at this point, they indicated that they're not necessarily going to react to what President had to say. One dynamic, within this structure, though, that's very interesting is that Saudi Arabia has actually cut more than their limit, their quota. So in theory, if Saudi Arabia wants to ramp up a little bit of production to get back to what they had initially pointed to as their production cuts for the year, they do have some room to do that. And I think the market possibly is reacting to that as well. But nonetheless, we're seeing a week here to start this week where we're seeing crude bouncing off the lows, trending back up to the middle of the range, near the highs of the day around that 63.50 level.